Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to work through one of the activities from the book and just demonstrate what iterative development looks like and how we can add additional functionality to a Python program. So the exercise I'm going to work through is in the Python turtle graphics section of the book. It is in one of the assigned subsections in our first turtle program. So I'm just going to go there. This is 4.2. We can see it's in chapter 4. So the activity that I wanted to work through is activity 6. And so in this activity, we start out with a simple turtle program. I can run it in the active code window here. And we can see that this program creates a background of light green. It creates a turtle that we've given the name Tess. It sets the color of Tess to be blue. It sets the size of the turtle to be 3. And then it moves forward 50. We always start out facing east, so we move forward 50, turn left 120 degrees, and then move forward another 50. And then we can also see that this program should exit when I click, and it does that. So there are a few extensions to this program that the book suggests for us to do. And so we're going to work through those, but I actually wanted to work through those in a Python file instead of using the active code window here. Using active code is totally fine, and in fact I think you need to make a change to this if you want to count this activity. But just to demo it, let's go over to idle. So I still have some stuff open from last time, but that is fine. I'm going to make a new file, and I'm just going to start off by saving it right away, and I'm going to call it first turtle program.py, and I'm saving it in my CSCI 127 folder. And all I'm going to do here is just paste what we had in the active code window. Now I'm going to save again, and I'm going to run this, and we'll see that just like in the active code window, we get the green background and we get the blue shape here drawn by the turtle, and if I click, it exits. So now let's see what extensions we're supposed to make to this. So the first extension is to modify the program so that before it creates the window, it prompts the user to enter the desired background color. Store that as a variable, and then modify it according to the user's wishes. So I'm going to go back to my idle window, and I'm actually in my program here. I'm just going to start out by writing a comment that's going to say, just as a reminder to myself, what do I need to do? So the first thing I need to do, maybe I'll even use a little to-do comment here. The first thing I'm going to need to do is get background color from user. And if you remember, the way to do this is to use the input function. And the input function takes as input, or an argument to the input function is the string that we want to display. So let's say something like, please enter a background color. Now, if I want to save the result of this, I'm going to need to save it as a variable. Let's call this background color. And then instead of setting the background color to light green every time, I want to set the background color to the input color. So let's go ahead and save and run this. I'm just going to, I believe, yeah, let's go ahead and run it. We'll see if I can remember any colors that work. So I need to enter a background color here, and I think hot pink was one of them, and that looks like it. Oh, so the reason that quit immediately is that it's supposed to quit on click. So let's try running it again, and maybe I can make these a little better for myself. We'll see. Okay, so I'm going to do hot pink again, and there we saw that we set the color to whatever we said. And we could try, if we really wanted to sort of test that this was working, we could do something like run it again. And now this time let's try, I know light green is a valid color, and it looks like I successfully made a light green screen here. So I'm going to click to exit, and let's see what our next task is. Now we want to allow the user to set the color of the turtle. So we'll go back to our program. Oh, and we did this to do, so let's edit that. Now, what do we need to do next? We need to get turtle color from user, and we can do just the same thing. We can say turtle color equals input. Please enter a turtle color. And now this saves the color of the turtle as to the variable turtle color. And again, we're going to replace, instead of entering the string blue, let's enter the string that's whatever the variable turtle color is referring to. So make test blue, it doesn't really apply anymore, does it? Set color of turtle. Now let's go ahead and save and run. Okay, so first we have to enter a background color. Try hot pink again, and let's enter a turtle color. I remember light green is a color that we're allowed to use, and that's working. And so one thing that you may have noticed that we're doing is we're only doing one step at a time. We're only making one small change at a time. Now, if I instead tried to do all of these things without running my program and making it sure that it works after each little step, I might introduce a bunch of bugs that are going to be very hard to track down. And so it's important to always just make small changes, make a small change, make sure that it works by running your program and trying to predict what the output should be. So, for example, we know that our program is working. Let's try running it again. We know that our program's working not just because we run it and we have no errors, but also because it does what we expect, right? When I enter hot pink as my background color and light green as my turtle color, I know that I'm supposed to get a hot pink background and a light green shape traced out by the turtle. And so that's how I know that my incremental changes have worked. Now let's work on the final task here. So this says do the same for the width of Tess's pen. So we need to get the width of the pen from the user. And again, we're just going to follow the exact same step here. We're going to get pen size from user. I'll call it pen size. And we'll say input, please enter a pen size. And then we'll use the pen size that we got. So this, you may be thinking about how input, as you read in the book, input will always return to us a string. So we're gonna get a number back from the user here, but the type of pen size should be a string. And so that's the reason that if we look at the book, this hint is telling us that our dialogue with the user, that's when we ask the user for the pen size via input, will return a string. But Tez's pen size method expects its argument to be an int. That means you need to convert the string to an int before you pass it to pen size. And this is a very reasonable thing for the book to say. However, if you actually run it, so in order to run this, we're going to need to enter background color, we need to enter a turtle color, and we're going to need to enter a pen size, let's say 15. So the book predicted that this wouldn't work, but it appears to be working. And so this is confusing. One thing that I would do here to sort of investigate what's going on is to go ahead and print what is the type of pen size, right? We expect that this should tell us that it's class string because input gives us back a string. And so let's just test that out. And we can see, as predicted, that pen size variable is indeed a string. And so it kind of seems like maybe an updated version of the turtle module allows the pen size to take in a string, and it just interprets it as an int. But I just wanted to point out that sort of discrepancy, so that wasn't confusing while you were working on your assignment. Let's, as one final thing here, let's just see, do we get the same result? Yes. So this is, I'm just going to go ahead and paste in what we had in our Python file. And let's go ahead and run this. Oh, this is how the prompts come in ActiveCode. So we have hot pink, light green, and let's say 16 again. And it works here as well. So all of this is to say that Python is always being developed, and always ask and investigate if you see something strange going on. Thanks, everybody.